All praises and glory goes to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All praises and glory goes to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Double honors to the men of Gia, Master Ruel. Peace and salutations to the full elect. This is Brother Boaz on the set once again. In that day, okay? What day? The day of the Lord, okay? When that day comes, it's going to be a great destruction and great death and great turmoil, okay? What you going to do in that dreadful day, okay? Of this great God, Yahweh, okay? That's what this is about, okay? What you going to do in that day, okay? When Yahweh Shai comes down with this great wrath, okay? You you want to be on the right hand side of Yahweh Shai when this thing goes down. Like we hear once again, and like we discussed, okay? Let's jump right into the scriptures. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements also shall melt with furious heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, okay? What type of person that you need to be, okay? Especially like we discussed in my last video, you're gonna lose everything, okay? Like we discussed, you are gonna lose everything, okay? That comes with it comes with the territory. You are gonna lose everything. Turn to the book of Jeremiah. You're gonna lose everything. That's what this is about. Jeremiah chapter 45, verse 2. Thus said Yahweh, power of Israel, unto thee, Baruch, thou hast did say, woe is me now. That's what you say, woe is me now, okay? That's what you should be saying, okay? If Yahweh Shai is dealing with you, woe is me now. For Yahweh have added grief to my sorrow. I am faint with my sighing, and I find no rest, okay? That's what you should be saying, okay? I'm worn out with groaning, and I can't find no rest. Thus shalt thou say unto him, Yahweh says thus, behold, that I have builded up, I will break down, and that which I have planted I will pluck up, even this whole land. And seekest thou great things for thyself? Seek them not. For behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, say Yahweh, but thy life will I give unto thee for a prey in all the places whether thou goest. Okay, so Yahweh Shai is going to basically give us our life, okay, so we can escape, okay, because the Lord Yahweh is coming out from the place where he lives, okay, to make the land desolate. The book of Isaiah, turn to the book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 21. For behold, Yahweh comes out of his place where to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquities. The earth shall also disclose her blood, and there shall no more cover is slain. Okay, so Yahweh's coming out from the place where he lives. Okay, and you think when he gets here he's going to hand out lollipops and hugs? No, Yahweh's going to be doing mass killing in that day. Okay, a mass destruction in that day. Okay, what you think Yahweh Shai is going to do when he comes back? Okay, mass death and destruction. That's what's coming to this place. Okay, one moment. The book of Jeremiah chapter 44 verse 14. So that none of the remnant of Judah which are gone out from the land of Egypt shall sojourn there, shall escape or remain. They that should return unto the land of Judah, so that which they have desired to return to dwell there. For none shall return, but such shall escape. Okay, it's only going to be a few people that make it out with their life. Okay, and if you're not in these scriptures, and if you're not keeping your eyes single, how you going to make it out with your life when this thing comes to pass? Okay, how you going to make it out with your life? You're not going to make it out with your life. Okay, you're going to be destroyed. Okay, you want to get your ticket out of here, you have to be calling on God, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, so you can make it out with your life. Okay, that's what this is about. Turn to the book of Romans. Romans chapter 10. Romans chapter 10 verse 9. That if thou shalt with thy mouth Yahweh, Lord Yahweh Shai, shall believe in thou heart that power has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. For with the heart man believes unto righteousness, and with the mouth confess is made unto salvation. Okay, so if you believe that Yahweh Shai, if you believe that, if you believe on him, okay, and call on Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, you're going to be saved. Okay, so you can make it out with your life. Verse 11, for the scriptures said, whosoever shall believe on him will not be put to shame. Verse 13, for whosoever shall call upon the name of Yahweh shall be saved. Okay, so if you calling on the name of Yahweh, you're going to be saved. Okay, but it don't stop at that. You still got to keep the law to the best of your ability, and keep your posture. You can't just know his name and be wicked. Okay, you you have to keep your posture in these scriptures to the best of your ability. The book of Jeremiah 44, verse 2. Thus say Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day they are desolate, and no man dwell therein. Okay, so you see what Yahweh Shai have done unto all of Jerusalem because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that which to burn incense and to serve other gods whom they have not known, neither thous nor thous fathers. Howbeit I send you unto all the howbeit I send unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early, and commanded them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing which I hate. But they hearkened not, nor did incline their ears, and turned from their wickedness to burn no incense unto other gods. Therefore my heart and my anger was poured out. Wherefore my fury and my anger was poured out, and was kindled in the cities of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem, and they are waste and desolate as it is this day. Therefore, now thus say Yahweh, the power of Israel, the power of hosts, the power of Israel. Wherefore you commit this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman and child and suckling out of Judah, to leave none to remain, and that ye provoke me to wrath and works with your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whither ye be gone to dwell, that might cut yourself off, that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. Okay, so that's what's happening now. Okay. Okay, you're gonna run to the land of Egypt, okay, and take this mark of the beast, okay. And you see what Yahweh Shai did, this great power. Who could stand up against this great power of Yahweh Shai? Okay, one moment. Book of 1 Samuel. The book of Samuel, chapter 6, verse 20. And the men of Bethshemesh said, who is able to stand before this holy Yahweh power? And and to whom shall he go up for us? Okay. So who can stand against up to this holy power of Yahweh Yahweh Shai? Okay. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 1. I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare a way before me. And Yahweh, whom ye seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant whom thou delight in. Behold, he shall come, said Yahweh of hosts. But who shall abide in that day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appears? For he will be like a refiner's fire, like a fuller of soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that may offer unto Yahweh an offering and righteousness. Okay, so who could stand before this mighty God, Yahweh Yahweh Shai? Okay, that's what this is about. And when Yahweh gets here, you want to be on the right hand side of Yahweh. Okay, you don't want to be on the left hand side. Okay, why should you die? Okay. Why should you get put to down? Okay, very violently, and Yahweh's giving you a chance to come clean and make it out with your life. Okay, don't play with your life. Okay, don't play with your life. Okay, this is serious business. Okay, our Yahweh Shai gets here. Okay, he's very angry and upset when he gets here. Many Yahweh Shai is going to slay. Okay, the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh, saith, behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And that day shall come and burn them up, said Yahweh of hosts. It shall not leave them neither root nor branch. It's going to totally annihilate them, okay, when this thing comes to pass. Totally annihilate them. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 16, verse 16. For the ungodly that denies to know thee, their scourges by thee, that strengtheneth thou's heart, thou's armed with strange rains, hail, and showers, when they persecute that they could not and were not persecuted, they that could not avoid, and through fire they were consumed. Okay, thermonuclear destruction cooking this man. Okay, you're going to be cooked alive in that day. Okay, why should you die? Why should you die such a violent death if you have a chance of making it out with your life? Okay, the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the book of Ecclesiasticus, excuse me, Sirach, chapter 12, verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Okay. Turn to the book of Isaiah. Okay, one moment. The book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 4. The sinners in Zion are afraid. The fearful have surprised a hypocrite. Among us shall dwell with everlasting fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burning? He that walketh righteously and speaketh upright, he that despises the gain of oppression, he that speaketh, he that shaketh his hand, holding up from bribes, and stoppeth his ear from hearing of blood, and shut his eye from seeing evil. He shall dwell on high in the place of defense, and shall be minion of rock bread, and given him his water shall be sure. The book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, and hear, and hearken, ye people that are. Let those ears hear. Let all therein the world and all things that comes forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is on all nations, and his fury are upon their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them up to the slaughter. Okay, so Yahweh is angry with the armies. Okay, he's angry with these nations. Okay, so what you think Yahweh is gonna do when he gets here? Okay, he's not gonna be playing patty cake when he gets here. Okay, He's going to be doing mass death and killing and destruction, okay? The book of Second Ezra, chapter 9, verse 12. We'll start at verse 10. For such in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they have that loathe my law, while they yet had liberty, and when they yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood it not, but despised it. The same must know it by death, by pain. Okay, that's what this is about. Okay, and you gotta seek Yahweh Shai while you still can, while there's still a crack in the door. Okay. The book of Second Ezra, chapter 7, verse 1. Woe unto thee, Babylon and Asia! Woe unto thee, Egypt and Syria! Gird up thou clothes with sackcloth and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry for the destruction is at hand. A sword is sent out to you, and who may turn it back? A fire is gone among you, and who may quench it? Turn to the book of Jeremiah. Okay, one moment. Try to find this scripture. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 29. Cut off your hair, O Jerusalem, and cast it away, and take up a lamentation on the high places, for Yahweh hath rejected and forsaken the generation of his wrath. For the children of Judah have done evil in my sight, say Yahweh, and they have set their abominations in the house which is called by my name and polluted it. Oh, okay, one moment. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, verse 29. Shall I not visit such things? For these things, say Yahweh, shall not my soul be avenged of such a nation as this? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means. And my people love to have it so. And what shall ye do in the end thereof? Okay, so what you gonna do when this day of judgment comes? Okay, what you gonna do when this day of judgment comes from afar off? Okay, how you gonna make it out with your life when this thing comes to pass? Tell me how you gonna make it out with your life? Okay, when this thing comes to pass. The was Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what shall ye, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away a hungry lion in the woods, or when there are one that quenches the fire and stubble? Where is he that begun to be burned? May one that turn against the arrows that is shot from a strong archer. Yes, the mighty Yahweh sends forth these plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire is gone forth out of his wrath, and who it is shall quench it. Okay, so like we discussed, how you gonna make it out with your life when this thing comes to pass? Okay, especially you got all these false groups. Okay, Yahweh have already said, like we discussed on multiple occasions, like we already know, GMS got it. Don't play with your life, okay? Don't play with your life when this thing comes to pass, okay? Don't play with your life. You only got this is your could be your last warning, okay? The book of Revelations. The book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 10. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecies of this book, for the time is at hand. Okay, so Yahweh broke the seals off this book. Okay, the seals has been broken off. Okay, and now you have a clean understanding of what this Bible is pertaining to. Okay, what is it saying? It's saying the so-called white man's going down. Okay, and so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Israel, get your act together and come clean and come back to your Lord, okay? While there's still time, while the doors of mercy still open. What's this Bible saying? All nations going into slavery, okay? While your preachers screaming Jesus, Jesus, and dancing, okay? This Bible saying the straight captivity, death, and mourning, okay? And woe. That's what it's saying. That's what it's saying. It's straight captivity, nation, and woe. Turn to the book of Ezekiel. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 2, verse 9. And when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it forth, and it was written within and without. There was written there in lamentation and mourning and woe. Okay, this Bible ain't saying do the dance and do the twist. No, it's saying the so-called white man's got to go down already. Okay, it's saying that the Israelites is going to get their captives in slavery and put them as slaves. Let's get it. It's saying kiss the son lest he be angry with you. Okay, the book of Psalms, chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathens rage? Why do the people imagination a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves against the rulers of it and take counsel against Yahweh and against his anointing, saying, let us break their bands asunder, let us cast their cords from among us. He that sitteth in heaven laughs. Yahweh have his way, has them in derision, okay? Yahweh laughs up there, hoo, 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 hoo. You dealing with a dreadful God and a terrible demon-like power, okay? That's what you dealing with. Knowing the terror of men, we persuade many, okay? Come over here. Knowing the terror of men, we persuade many. One moment. The book of First Corinthians chapter 2, verse 3. And I was with you in weakness and fear and much trembling, okay? You should be working out your own salvation, okay? Let's get the book of Corinthians, 2 Corinthians. Okay, one moment. I probably already passed it. The book of 2 Corinthians 5, verse 11. Knowing therefore the terror of Yahweh, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto power, and I trust also and made manifest in your consciousness, okay? So through terror we persuade men, okay? How it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God, okay? If you only, this is going to be your last warning, okay? So, like we discussed, don't play with your life already. Why you going to be destroyed, okay? Come clean and come to Yahweh Shai while you still can, while the doors of mercy still open, okay? Like I said, this is me speaking as a man. I think it's already over with, okay? We just waiting for those angels to release these winds. Turn to the book of Revelations. The book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 1. And after things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor on any tree, okay? Those winds symbolizes thermonuclear destruction, okay? Those winds symbolize, let's turn to the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 1. Thus say Yahweh, behold, I will rise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind, nuclear destruction, being cooked alive already, okay? Screaming to the top of your lungs already, dying a violent death, okay? Because you couldn't make it out with your life, okay? It's only for a few select in a way, okay? It's only for a few select people to make it out with their life, okay? It's not for the majority of people, okay? So only a few gonna make it out with their life when this thing comes to pass, okay? Likely. And I don't know about you, I want to make it out here with my life. I don't want to be just put down with this man, okay? My point of view is let the so-called white man get his judgment, okay? He did the crime, you got to pay the time, okay? And besides, he had it good for the last 500, 600 years or so, okay? Let the so-called white man go down already, okay? If that's his judgment, let it be so. And I will send to Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land for the day of trouble. They shall be against her round about, against him that bendeth the bow, the archer, and, and let's read it from the top. Against him that bendeth the bow, the archer, bendeth the bow, and against him that lifted up, up in his brigandine shall snare ye not, spare ye not the young men, destroy utterly all her hosts. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and that they are thrust through in her streets. Okay, they're going to be cooked alive in that day. Okay, there's going to be destruction in that day. Oh no. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of power of Yahweh of hosts, though their land was full of sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee everyone from the midst and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance, where he renders unto her a recompense. Okay, so this is a time for Yahweh's vengeance, okay? This is a time for Yahweh's revenge, okay? So don't let yourself be caught up, with this man. This man's going down, okay? This man's going down. Come over here to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, 40 or 16. Thou's terribleness have deceived thee, and thou's pride of thou's heart. O thou dwell in the clefts of the rock, and holdest the highness of the hill, though thou should make thou's nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, said Yahweh, okay? Through this man's technology, okay, he thinks he's just gonna make it out with his technology, and okay, not so. Yahweh Shai say he's gonna bring them down from thence. The book of the vision of Obadiah, thus concerning Yahweh, concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from Yahweh, an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise, let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Okay, so it's going to come to pass when you see a white person, you're going to be despised, that white person. Okay, you want to thrust them through. Okay, you're going to, this white man's going to be running for his life. Okay, when this thing comes to pass. Okay. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, that thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, and whose habitation is on high, that says in thou heart, who shall bring me to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, as though thou have set thy nest among the stars, thence that I will bring thee down, said Yahweh. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, oh, how thou art cut off. They would they not have stolen till they have enough? If the grape gatherers came unto thee, would they not leave thee some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out, and how are his hidden things sought up? All the men of the Confederacy have brought thee unto the borders. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. They that prevail against thee, they that eat thou's bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none of understanding in him. Okay, so England, France, Spain, they're gonna come, they're gonna drop missiles on this man already, okay? They're gonna drop missiles on this man, okay? That's what this is about. They not just Russia, okay? Russia, France, England, London, they all gonna drop missiles on them, okay? And they're gonna drop missiles on this man. The book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 17. We'll start at verse 16. And the 10th horn which have thou sawest, the beast, and these that shall hate the whore, and they shall make her desolate and naked, and eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Okay, that's the EU nations. They're gonna turn on this man already. Okay, and drop missiles on him. For power hath put it in their heart to fulfill his will and to agree and given their kingdom unto the beast until the word of power shall be fulfilled, okay? Until the word of Yahweh shall be fulfilled, okay? That's what this is about. That's what this is all about. Coming over here, verse 8, Obadiah chapter 1, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, say Yahweh, destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, and those mighty men, Teman, shall be dismayed to the end of every one of the Mount Esau shall be cut off in the slaughter, okay? So Yahweh God said, slaughter them already, okay? Destroy them already. What's this about? Why you want to do the twist with them? Why you want to make them your buddy, okay? No. Turn to the wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 9. Not that thou was unable to bring the ungodly underneath the hand of the righteous in battle, or to destroy them with one cruel word, with cruel beasts, or with one rough word. Okay, so it only takes one commandment for Yahweh Yahushai. It only takes one commandment with Yahweh Yahushai, okay? Let's get it. Turn to the book of Deuteronomy. And if you're not in this posture, how you going to make it out with your life when this thing comes to pass? Huh. If you're not talking to this doctrine, how you going to make it out with your life? Tell me. Tell me how you going to make it out with your life so when this thing comes to pass. If you're not in this doctrine, if you're not in this spirit, okay? We're not going to be sitting up there doing a twist with the so-called white man, okay? Let this man be destroyed already so we can put him in slavery. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 27. The eternal power is our refuge, and underneath our wings of everlasting arms. And he shall thrust out the enemy before thee, and shall say, destroy them. Okay, when you hear God up there laughing, ho, 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 ho. You hearing God up there laugh, okay, with a great, terrible demon-like power, okay, laugh. Yahweh Shah is coming to destroy this place, okay, and make it big, okay. I'll leave you with the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 26. I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness, and the cities thereof was broken down at the presence of Yahweh and his fierce anger. For thus have Yahweh says, the whole land shall be desolate, yet I will not make a full end. For this shall be the earth mourn, and the heavens above shall be black, because I have spoken, I have proposed it, and will not repent, neither will I turn back from it. The whole city shall flee from the noise of the horsemen of the bowmen, okay, nuclear destruction. They shall go into the thickets and climb up upon the rocks. Every city shall be forsaken, and not a man dwell therein. And when thou spoils and when thou spoils, what will thou do? Thou that closest thyself with crimson, thou deckest thyself with ornaments of gold, thou did rendest thou face and paint in vain, thou that make thyself fair for thy lovers despise thee, they will seek thy life. For I have heard a voice of a woman in travail, and the anguish of her that bringeth forth her first child. The voice of the daughter of Zion that bewailed herself, that spreads her hand, saying, woe is me now, for my life is weary because of murderers. Okay, that's what this is about. Before we shut down, let's finish up the book of Obadiah. The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and shall thou be cut off forever. So, with the so called white man being violent towards us, he's going to be cut off. Okay? Let the so called white man go into his judgment. Okay? Stop trying to do the twist with this man. Okay? Stockholm syndrome. Okay, that's what the brothers are calling it. Okay, no, let the so-called white man go down already. Okay, so you can make it out on this midnight train in Georgia. So you can make it out with your life when this thing comes to pass. Okay, don't play with your life. Okay, Yahweh Shai says he doesn't want to see you die. Okay, convert, repent, and live. So on that note, I'd like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.